I was on the Hannity show on radio this afternoon, and Leo Terrell was on the other side. And Hannity let Leo talk first. And Leo said, this is horrible, this is terrible, this is way out of proportion. Obviously, there's a concern about whether or not the 4 officers acted the way they should have acted. He says, Leo did, that the evidence is clear that this man was murdered and charges should be brought. In fact, the man has now been charged, been arrested and charged. And he sounded so reasonable. We should deal with these things, have an investigation, let it unfold. And I'm listening to this, and my jaw's on the floor. And I said that. I said, Leo, thank you. I don't know what happened to you. I don't know what red pill you've taken, whether you've been bitten by a radioactive spider. I don't care. But you are a guy who, for the whole time I've known you, talked about structural racism, institutional racism, systemic racism on the part of the cops against blacks. This is a guy who has fed into the whole narrative his whole career. Now, I'm happy he's changed. I think he's auditioning for a part as a Fox News contributor. That's what I think. But this is a guy who ran around for 2 years saying O.J. Simpson was innocent and that the cops were racist, planted evidence, yada blah, etc. He's right up there. For all these people on the left now looking at this going, oh, isn't this terrible? Go to the nearest mirror. You created a society where they don't have fathers. You've told them that they are eternal victims. Never mind the data. Never mind the fact that police killings against blacks, as I've said over and over again, are down 75% over a 45-year period of time, while police shooting against whites have flatlined. Never mind. LeBron James sends out a tweet after Arbery is killed in Brunswick, Georgia. Can't even leave our house without being literally hunted down. Really, LeBron? You really want to have a discussion about what race should fear what race in terms of violent crime? You really want to have that discussion? Again, over 500,000 non-homicide, violent interracial acts per year. Attempted manslaughter, assault with a weapon, rape, 500,000. In 85 to 90% of the cases, it is a black perp, white victim. You really want to, and that's violent. We're not talking about non-violent misdemeanors. 7,000 homicides last year, black victims, almost all killed by other blacks. Young black man, anywhere from 7 to 10 times more likely to be a victim of a homicide compared to a young white man. Is this thing on? What happened in Minneapolis is extremely rare. That's why it's news. And of course it should be investigated. And it will be. The officers had body cams. Eventually they're going to be released. Minority police chief. Left-wing mayor. Is there any evidence at all that this is going to be swept under the ground, not going to be thoroughly investigated, and still you're rioting?